So,
Good morning.
So familiar with it.
Sorry, Sarah's just taken her mask off. Obviously, we do take our social distancing quite seriously. Take them off, ready for the exercise
Getting
class.
so familiar with wearing a mask, I didn't even realise it was there. So probably got a little mask shape around my face now.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at our computer, trying to make sure our tech is working, which at the moment it isn't. So always nice to have these last minute glitches, isn't it? So I'll let Abby talk while I continue to play with my little gadget here.
All right. Good morning, everybody. I hope you're all feeling well. Welcome back. If you have been here for any of the previous exercise classes, and welcome to any newbies. It's lovely to see. Well, we can't see you, but it's lovely to know that there's some new ones coming every week. So yeah, it's obviously we're just doing a lockdown exercise program just to keep you going, and as we are pain specialists, you know, we hope that you will trust us to get you moving.
And quite interestingly, actually, in this week we've had some interesting stats that we can share with you all. Prior to lockdown, we were running an exercise class every week at Bournemouth University. Some of you may have even joined us there at some point in the past. And every week we would ask people to fill in some paperwork for us, which can sometimes seem a little bit of a chore. But actually, when we're looking at some of those questionnaires, which we do, it's really valuable because we can see the sorts of impact that joining us in these exercise classes can have on people. So having the lockdown and having the time to do some audit of those numbers, one of our colleagues, Fran and Judith, together have helped pull all of those numbers together. We've got some very pretty bar charts that we can share with people that really show one of the big changes from those people who were working with us every week was that the confidence they had in their own body, the confidence in moving, in being active, rose by a huge percentage. And although we sometimes see that in individuals when we're getting to know people and we're working with them each week, it's really something else when we see that as sort of hard fact with the numbers and the stats. So if any of you out there today are people that joined us at Bournemouth University, thank you for filling in those forms. It really does help prove the value of these things. And hopefully we will be finding, and you will be finding, that although we're having to adapt things, and obviously you're exercising at home, we're having to exercise in this not necessarily well-equipped room, we're hoping that we're still going to be seeing those changes for people, improvements in function and improvements in health, and of course improvements in pain control. So don't be surprised if 1 week very soon we are asking you to fill in some forms, perhaps on a link through this Facebook page. So what would be nice would be to just check in that we've got some viewers. We're due to start the exercise any minute now. We can see, yay, lovely. So we know that we've got our IT in place and it's working and we're recording in the right place. So that's reassuring, particularly as I was involved in the class where we weren't recording it properly 2 weeks ago. So thanks, Sandra, for letting us know that you're there.
We're live.
And we're live, yeah. So,
and Naomi, hi Naomi.
Oh, brilliant! I don't even. Oh, there you are. That's where we're looking. Sorry.
That's without the glasses as well.
It's obviously having the mask on my face too long. I've just lost power of sight.
Lost on other senses. So it's half past. It's gone half past
it's
anyway.
Gone half past. So we'll kick off for real now that we know that you're there. So yeah, welcome to our Thursday morning exercise class. We're here hopefully every week. If we do have to miss a week for any reason, then we will be encouraging you to look down the Facebook page at some of our old videos. But for today, before we get going with any sort of movement, we'd encourage everyone out there to think about safety. So think about the space. We have got this nice big room. We have got a little mat on the floor. So if we wanted to do any exercises, we could go down onto the floor and know that it's safe. We've got no rugs to trip over, no children's toys, no sharp cornered furniture. So just think about the space that you're in. Make sure that it's safe. There are no trip hazards. Make sure if there's anything you need for your comfort, a towel, a bottle of water, that you have it within reach. There we are. And of course, if you do need any medications, if you're perhaps asthmatic and you think, oh yeah, my inhaler's upstairs, then just making sure that you've got everything within reach that's going to make this next half hour enjoyable, relaxing, successful. So if you do need to have a little bit of time to rearrange your furniture, then obviously you can put us on pause, get your safe space, and then turn us back on again. For anyone that's new, if you are concerned about your medical history, you will see in our text box that we're encouraging you to link into our Dorset Pain Service website. We do have a medical checklist there, so if you've got any concerns, use that checklist just to make sure that you feel confident that this is safe. If you do still have any concerns, we've obviously got the chat box that people are sending us messages in, so you can send us a message. We will respond to them if we can during the class, but certainly at the end of the class. So any queries, then use that chat function, and certainly don't put yourself in a position where you're feeling uncomfortable about exercising. As Abby says, we're pain specialists, so we've constructed this class to be successful and safe, but any concerns you might have, then do follow that up. So now I've got my clicker working, I'm going to move on. So we've talked about making the space safe. The other thing is about having the attitude to exercise that's really going to make it work for you. So what do we mean by that? Well, some people will tackle exercise as though they're in a fight for their life and they've got to beat something or someone, that there's a competition going on. And actually exercise should be something that you do with your body, not to your body. So we'd really encourage you to be as aware of your body as you can be, so that it's not feeling too much like hard work. It's not a competition. You rest if you need to. You adjust whatever you see us doing. Make adjustments if needs be so that it suits you. And of course, be responsible for your own safety. Try and be curious about how it is to be moving your body, and ideally try and introduce a bit of fun. We did last week, I think, try and help increase the fun factor with a bit of music in the background. We haven't been able to organise that today. So again, if you've got music nearby, definitely recommend that you put that on when we start moving. It always creates a better atmosphere for exercise. The final little point is it can be really useful to have some form of goal in mind. So when you're exercising, we're not doing it just to fill in a spare half hour on a Thursday. The idea is that this is a time to explore what your body can do and encourage it to try things that are different, to find the things that work for you, that allow your body to be efficient in movement. And why would you do that? Well, maybe it's because you want to get out of your chair with more ease. Maybe it's you want to be able to walk the dog for 10 minutes and at the moment you feel you can't. So having some sort of real life valuable goal that you can feel that you are stepping ever closer to is going to really help you be motivated to come back each week and join us. And dare I say it, perhaps watch this video at other times in the week and repeat the exercise more than just this one session. So have something in mind that really is important to you, that you can put this time aside to working towards reaching that goal. So the plan for today's session, we're going to spend a little bit more time just doing a bit of talking. We're then going to do some warm-up movements just to get the body and mind ready. We're then having our full-blown workout session, which today we're going to have a bit of a focus towards cardiovascular. So we mean to get a little bit of warmth in the body, get the heart working. That's going to be about 15 minutes long. We'll then do a little bit of a cool down at the end with some adapted Tai Chi movements. And as I said earlier, we will be available at the end of the session for another 5 minutes or so to field any sort of comments that perhaps you want to send in through the chat function. So hopefully that gives you an idea of what's coming up. So as a topic of conversation each week, we want to just share some thoughts with you. And there are so many things we can talk about with exercise that almost the list is too long. But I think it's quite nice if we can to sort of almost reflect on our own experiences and kind of talk about whatever it is that's going on for us at the moment. So I actually had my flu vaccination yesterday. Well, hey! So thanks to all at RBH who were doing the vaccination programme. It was busy, and I feel fine, but I do have a sore arm. So today, when we move, you're going to see me moving perhaps in a slightly lopsided fashion, because this arm is feeling a little bit sore and stiff. And I was sort of reflecting last night on, well, how am I going to get through the exercise class tomorrow? And I thought, well, actually, this is a real experience that I'm sharing with those of you out there who are having to make adaptations, because areas of the body hurt, and so you have to adapt. And that sort of led me on to thinking, the adaptation that I've had to face overnight and this morning is that my muscles are not willing to work. I can move my arm forwards, but in a slightly awkward way. I can even see on the screen I'm having to use my whole body to do that. But out to the side is almost a no-go. I know by tomorrow it'll be a completely different story. But right now, my muscles have adapted to the fact of having had that vaccination just yesterday. And it got me to thinking about how quickly our body can adapt. Different experiences come along. And usually if we're feeling, oh gosh, my muscles are weak, they can't even lift the weight of my own limb, we presume it's about the tissues. We presume that the muscle tissues have become weak. But 48 hours ago, these muscles were working fine, thank you very much. So what's actually happened is that in response to an injection, my body has decided that this area is now a little bit of a risky spot, something that needs a bit of protection. And almost instantaneous, well, probably about an hour afterwards, my body decided that the best form of protection for this area was just to turn those muscles off, really. So my weakness this morning had actually very little to do with my muscles, but an awful lot to do with my nerves. Because my nerves have carried that instruction to them with those muscles and said, do you know what, take the day off. You had an injection, you probably need to recover, there's some immune stuff going on, take the day off, I would. And it was a really interesting reflection that our bodies sometimes make these decisions probably in our best interests. I probably ought not to be waggling my arm around too much. I want that vaccination to take effect. And my body has decided to adapt in the way that it sees fit. And I think that's a marvel of our body. And it's very interesting to understand how it works. And by understanding that, I'm quite relaxed. I know these muscles are going to come back online tomorrow. But what if my muscles were still feeling weak in a week? Weak in 7 days or in a month? It might cause some alarm. And in fact, the longer I didn't use my arm for, then some true weakness would start to set in. So at some point, I would have to consider these adaptations and how useful are they now? And at some point, I would have to take that brave step of deciding, I'm going to start moving this arm of mine because I need those muscles to come back online. And I know from my experience of working with patients that's often the conversations we have, that it can be very frightening when the body doesn't do what you expect it to and you don't understand why. But at some point in time, we need to sort of take that brave step of deciding to create those movements again and look for the most efficient way of moving the body that doesn't trigger too much pain but allows us to claw back some of that normal function. So I don't know if that has any sort of penny dropping moments for any of you out there, but just thinking about your own bodies and the adaptations you've had to make in response to your pain or in response to your health, and just thinking about that for a moment, that the body is trying to protect itself, but we may need to start re-engaging in movement, but we want it to be safe, we want it to be suited to us. So I think that's probably enough chat time. We're going to start doing some warm-ups. I think I'm going to, with my my poorly arm, I'm going to let Abby lead the way, and you'll see me doing an adapted version, and we're really encouraging you to do the same. Adapt these movements to you and to your abilities. So we're going to move our chairs and we're going to get on the move.
So I know I say it every week, make sure you've got suitable footwear on, loose clothing or stretchy clothing, and make sure you've got space around you. Okay, you can do it in your bare feet or shoes, but don't do it in your socks and don't be slipping. Okay, so we're going to start by marching on the spot. We'll get the arms moving, the legs. You're doing all right with your one armed march.
It does feel a little bit odd, I must say, but
Okay, now heel digs. Can you see me enough? I don't think I can. Just tilt that just forward it slightly. Okay. So heel digs. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So some tapping to the side tap. Reminds me of my ballet classes when I was little. Good. And then to the front.
hopefully you've got your radios on because it feels awfully strange
It's really
here.
weird without new music. We will have to sort out some music. Sorry, folks. Okay, now I think we always sort of finish this little bit with a squat. If you need your chair, use your chair. Try and keep your back nice and straight and use the quad muscles, which are these thigh muscles, and try and come down. It doesn't matter how far you get down. If you can only go a little way, that's fine. If you need to use a wall to slide down, that's fine with your back, yeah? Slide. I can't demonstrate because our wall has got a big plastic thing on it. But if you can go down nice and far, keep your back nice and straight and come back up. Really nice exercise. And really helps if you can practice this one regularly, really helps with getting you up out of the chair. So.
And what might be not so evident is over here in the seat, I'm obviously not managing to do a same squatting movement as Abby, but all I'm doing is clenching the thighs, the hips and the buttocks, and then relaxing them. And it gives me a little bit of a lift up from the seat. And then as I relax them, kind of sinking back into the seat.
Yeah, or you can practice using your arms on the, and sort of squeezing everything up and down in the chair as well. It's good, another good one. Okay, so 15 seconds of just some breathing. Don't want you out of breath. Just relax. And then, I don't think the numbers are working on that, are they? Okay, so we're going to step it up a little bit because we're trying to do cardiovascular today. So just bringing the knees up nice and high. Okay, so it's really on a roll today. I'm not as fast. So we're just demonstrating, you know, obviously doing it at your own pace. All right, so don't feel you have to keep up with either of us. It's your pace. Okay, so box steps side to side.
And I'm going to really make a stand, really step down like I mean it, really get those muscles working and feel my heart pumping.
You can use your arms if you want. Just get the arms swinging. Okay, so I don't know whether Sarah wants to do some sit to stands. It looks like I'm going back.
Yeah.
I'm going to do some star jumps while she does some sit to stands. Is that all right?
Yeah,
So you can do some gentle ones. So you can just do, if you can just do some standing ones is fine. If you're feeling a little bit more energetic and your pelvic floor can manage the exercise, you can do some start jumps. Try and get the heart rate up a little bit. Okay, and like I say, if you can only step it, that's good. Even just getting the arms going is good. Or you can do some proper ones.
And we're looking, as Abby said, we're looking at getting a bit warm, noticing our heart rate going up. Maybe that we're having to breathe a little bit harder, but one of the tests we like to do is the talk test. You should still be able to talk. We don't want any gasping, I can't get the words out. That means you're working too hard.
Okay.
So if you can still talk, but yet you're having to breathe a bit harder, then that means you're really doing the world of good for your heart.
Okay, and then I'm just going to add in some mini squats. Again, you can do sort of little and often. So we're going to do them just a bit faster, but just mini ones. So if you want to sit from the side, if you need to hold onto a chair. Good. I think that might be stuck on that. Okay, now do some deep breathing. Remember, if you were involved in the first one, we were trying to get a diaphragm to, so breathing deeply, breathing properly. Great, well done. Okay, so now you can either stand and do this, or you can hold a small squat, and we're going to do a little bit of boxing. Don't want you to find it boring, so I'm going to do some front ones. You can do some uppercuts if you want, and you can do some side hooks. So mix it up if you want. 1, 2, 1, 2, forward 2, up 2, side 2, or just keep it at the same for a few and then change it up.
What I'm noticing actually
You're right,
doing
your
it
arm.
here, other than I'm noticing how funny it feels one-sided, is actually it's not just my arms moving. My bottom is dancing on this seat right now. So, so this is a movement for arms, yes, but actually my whole body is joining in the party. So let that movement go from the arms into the rest of the body. Let the body help support this boxing movement. Again, we're looking for that efficiency, get the body doing what it does naturally.
Okay, now we're going to do some breaststroke. Again, if you feel like you can do a little bit of a squat, just think about what you'd be like in the water. So it's sort of pretty similar, because your legs would be going out and in, wouldn't they? If you're breaststroking in the pool. Be nice to get back to being able to get in the pool, won't it?
Oh yeah.
And the summer in the sea. We can dream. Okay, so getting those arms going. What we can also do is we could do some skipping arms. You can do the skipping. Get the legs going with it.
Of course, if any of you have actually got a real skipping rope and you have the space, then wow, I did some skipping in the summer with my children, and I couldn't believe how hard it was as an exercise.
I can't coordinate skipping.
Really
I
hard.
keep tripping up. Not
So, yeah,
coordinated enough.
Thumbs up for that being a good cardiovascular exercise.
Okay,
I'm going to skip backwards, I think.
as you can hear, I'm starting to get a little bit out of breath, and then my speech is a bit more breathy now. Okay, so I'm not sure timing wise what I'm doing. I think that keeps getting so. Right, we're on the end of it. We'll do some snow angels just for the last few seconds. Go up to Scotland and do proper snow angels at the moment, can you? The weather we're having. And just breathe, deep breathing. Feel that diaphragm. Brilliant. Well done. So we're just going to do some gentle stretches. I think I might do them in standing today. So we'll just do some calf stretches. So I'm going to start with the legs straight. Okay. So this, try and lunge your other knee forwards. And what that does is it stretches the gastrocnemius muscle in the calf, which covers 2 joints, so your ankle and your knee. Okay, and then once you've stretched that for about 30 seconds, you then bend the knee, and that stretches some different muscles in there.
And again, for a little adaptation for those of us doing this sat down, all I'm doing is sliding my right leg behind me, trying to keep that heel down. So I'm getting that stretch again on the back of my calf.
Okay, now swap again. You're going to get the heel down, and then you're going to lunge your left knee, bend your left knee, so that you get a nice, try and keep that heel on the floor, so you've got that stretch of the muscle that goes over both joints. And then when you feel like you've done a good 30 seconds of stretch, you can then bend the knee, and then we get a stretch of a different muscle called the soleus in your calf. Well done. Okay, I think I've been doing most of the stretches in lying recently, so I'm going to move this chair around. I'm going to do a bit of a hamstring stretch. So get your heel onto the chair and just try and move your body forwards and feel that stretch there. Hamstrings are so important to stretch, because if they're too tight, then you have problems pulling on your back. So and I do have slightly tight hamstrings, so I wish I could get my nose to my knee. But that's from a lot of running, which and I should stretch more, so I will take note of that for myself. Okay.
And this is, of course, two normal people with normal bodies, and this is normal that we have muscles that can be tight. And as Abby says, recognising anything we might be doing that's maybe adding to that tension, like too much running, too much driving in the car, too long spent at the computer.
Sitting, yeah.
Just noticing that and thinking, oh yeah, I feel a bit tight there. That's your body speaking to you, saying, I'm tight, please just soften me up a bit. So some gentle stretches just to get that softness into the body can be really helpful at bringing about some comfort.
Okay, I'm going to do a quad stretch. It's not the easiest stretch. Okay, so you want to get hold of your ankle. Then what you need to do is actually get your knees together. And as you can see, I'm a bit bent and I should be straighter than I am. Again, down to my running, I've got really tight quads at the moment, and but we want to stretch your hip flexor and the whole of the quad muscle down past your knee. So it's a very long muscle. So good to hold on to something really with this. But the other trick is, if you don't have something to hold on to, you hold on to your ear, and that keeps you balanced.
I never knew that. I'll be taking that.
Okay, so I'm not going to be able to hold in the same way because I'm holding my ankle this time. So if I hold my ear, it keeps me balanced.
Again, a pretty tricky exercise to do in sitting, but with a little bit of a swivel, sort of sitting half on, half off the edge of the seat. Again, just bringing the heel towards your buttock. Or if you can't reach, even just grabbing some trouser material, just to get noticeable lengthening and softening on the front of the thigh.
Or even a towel around your ankle and pull it up.
Yeah.
Anything like any tricks like that just helps a little bit of a stretch. It's brilliant. Well done, everybody. Just stretch your neck, both sides, just a little bit, and then up and down. So I've concentrated more on lower limbs today. Sorry. But and then tip your ear to your shoulder. Just get a nice stretch. And shrug your shoulders a bit and loosen any tension that's there. Okay. So have a think about how you feel, you know, and just adapt your exercises next time. But you know, you might find a little bit of ache. You'll notice that your muscles are being used, but they should feel a nice ache that you've actually used them. So we're going to do some Tai Chi now. I'm going to move this mat so I don't tread all over it with my dirty shoes. So again, I think Sarah's going to do the seated Tai Chi. So we're going to start off in Sung, which is that sort of nice relaxed pose.
You won't see my feet on the screen, but ideally in sitting, having your feet positioned under your knees, so you've got a nice sort of right angle at the knee and a right angle at the ankle, and you can really feel that your legs are being involved. They're supporting you in the position that you're in, helping your trunk muscles to keep you up in that nice position.
Okay, so we're going to start with, if you were to mirror me, your left foot forwards. Okay, so we're going to scoop the C. So we're going to come forward. Breathe in. That's it. And breathe out as you come forward. And then breathe in as you come back. So you're just scooping up the sea. Just think about that beautiful hot weather we're going to have again this summer. And you're going to go down to the beach, get hold of the waves and just feel that lovely warmth, beautiful sea, and listen to those waves. Nice, and then we're going to swap legs. And again, scoop up that sea, cover yourself in all that beautiful water, nice and fresh. It's the wrong time of year for scooping the sea, isn't it?
As you say, we can dream, can't we? It's lovely creating that mental image.
Yeah. Okay, now we're going to push the waves away. So back to your left foot forward. We're going to push the waves away and then move back as the waves come towards you again. Pushing the waves and coming back. Lovely. Push away and come back. Beautiful. Swap legs. Nice and smooth movement it should be. Just really concentrate on your breathing. Sarah's leading very well with her breathing, and I'm just chattering away and having a think.
Very hard to do the breathing and the talking.
Okay, brilliant. Okay, now we're going to do the flying dove. So back with your left leg forward. So you're going to come forwards and spread your wings, and then think of yourself as the bird that's flying over the sea. We've been playing with the waves. Let's be the seagull over the sea. It says dove, but you know, I'll be a seagull today. You might come in and scoop your sandwich out of your hands if you're not careful. Good, lovely. And then see if you can just move a little bit further back into almost a squat as you come back. Lovely, lovely movement. Well done, everybody. We're going to swap legs, come forwards. So it's like a lunge and then almost a squat. Lunging forwards and then squatting back. Really use all of your body and remember your breathing while you're doing it. Okay, now we're going to be on a horse. You're going to punch and punch. So you're going to punch forward and then bring your hand back and down by your side. Lovely. So it's a bit of a twist and pull. So you're punching and then you're twisting back. It's quite a bit of a karate sort of move, isn't it? But we're doing it in a gentle way. Not like we were doing it earlier with the proper punching. Not boxing, you just... If it gets too much staying in the squat, you can stand up, but the squat is... You might find it this week. I've done a lot of squatting, sorry folks. Right, we're now going to be a goose, so we're going down into a squat again. We're coming all the way up, sweeping up, and then sweeping back down. So you're going to inhale as you go up and exhale as you go down. Okay, and the arms just gently cross as you come down. So I think on another seagull. Oh no, this is the wild goose. Wild goose is chasing the seagull today. I can actually imagine being down at Camphor Cliffs or somewhere nice, with a lovely sandy beach. in the summer. We had such beautiful weather, didn't we? Can't complain at all about the weather we had in lockdown. Okay, now we're going to be a rotating flywheel. Okay, so we're going to go round, all the way round and up, and then again. So as you come up, almost let gravity pull you down gently. Okay, remember your breathing. Last one, and we're going to go back the other way. Okay, so swing the other way. Did I go the wrong way? I can't remember if I swapped. Apologies if I didn't swap. Lovely. And you can swing back the other way if you want to change. And then come back to the middle. Okay, now we're going to do a bit of a funny one. I think of it a bit like Pinocchio. It's called stepping and bouncing the ball, but I almost feel like you're like a puppet on a string. So opposite arm and leg, and you're supposed to be bouncing the ball, but I always feel like I say, a bit like Pinocchio. Or if anybody saw Chitty Chitty Bang Bang at Christmas, the scene in the castle where he pretends to be a puppet is really good, really clever. So it's a sort of... Again, you're keeping nice soft knees when you're doing this. You don't actually lock the knees. So even when you're lifting the other knee up, you're sort of keeping quite soft knees. So palms facing up now. We're going to balance the chi. We're going to push the palms down. And just again keep knees relaxed. Well done, everybody. You've done an awesome job. However much you managed for yourself, you said at the beginning, it's not a competition. You manage what's right for you. You listen to your body. And thanks for joining us today.
Hopefully we will see you same time, same place next week. And as we said, you know, use this recording at any point during the week where you feel that you have the time and the inclination to be curious about your body, take care of your body, improve and increase your function, and we'll be here again next week to introduce some other new ways of doing just that.
And stay warm. Put your clothes back on. You know, don't get cold too quickly. Is what I'm saying. So that's why I put my although I'm nice and warm, if I put this back on, it keeps my muscles warm for a bit longer. All right. Well done, everyone.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Bye.